For students planning on going to college, the cost of attendance continues to increase, resulting in the amount of student loans increasing. In the United States, loan debt has topped credit card debt as the leading consumer debt across the nation at nearly $1.2 trillion and constantly growing. Having school loans as debt does not necessarily have to be scary. There are generally two types of student loans, subsidized and unsubsidized. Subsidized loans are usually granted to students who demonstrate a financial need. The interest payments are made by the government while the student is attending college. With an unsubsidized loan, the student will have interest payments due while they are in school. Most payment systems begin 6 months after the student graduates, giving them a chance to find a job with their degree before they owe money back on their loans. It's a good idea for students to be realistic when borrowing money. This money borrowed will be what you owe back plus interest after graduation. It's a good idea for students in college to keep up with how much money they're borrowing in loans for school. It can sometimes be overwhelming for a student to wait till the end of their 4 years to check the amount of debt that has collected. Another great tip is that students should only borrow what they need. Like I said earlier, these loans do build up and they will have to be paid back plus interest. So the best option is to make sure that you're not taking out excessive amounts of loans to spend on things other than your college expenses. There are a few reasons why it's important to keep in contact with your student loan provider. After the 6-month grace period upon graduation, the loans will have to be paid back, and the student loan provider will be in contact with you to set up these payments. If you change your address from what the loan provider has on file, it will be hard for them to contact you. You cannot run from your student loan debt. If you don't make payments after college, there will be punishments. So you may be asking, what happens if you don't set up these payments? The company that you have your student loan from will use every means to contact you. They'll send email, try to reach you over the phone, and even try to contact you through your references. If they fail to reach you and set up payments, then the student loan debt will default. What this means is that you've failed to make any sort of payments, and now the debt will be turned over to a collector from the company you borrowed from. The collector's job is to find you and get the money for your student loan debt. Not to mention that during this time, your debt is still building interest. Once you have let your loan default, if you do set up payments with the collector, your payments will not be cheap. If you let your student loan default, it will also hurt your credit score. Lowering your credit score after college is not what you want. Most people are planning on moving on with their lives, and if you have damaged your credit score, it would be hard to finance a new vehicle or a house, or it could even influence the likeliness of you getting a job. So the most important thing to do is set up your loan payments after graduation. If you set up your payments and keep in constant contact with your loan provider, it'll bring you great benefits. As you make payments, the total amount you owe on your debt is going to decrease. As long as you're making payments on time, they will help to boost your credit score. It helps to show that you are reliable. Another benefit of making payments is that you can use it as a tax write-off. Student loans are not meant to be scary, but rather to help students achieve their goals in college and graduate with a degree. If students are not smart, their loans can get them into trouble. So it's a good idea for any student who's going to need loans to understand the good and the bad of those student loans. One of the smartest choices for a student with loan debt to make is to make sure they keep in contact with their loan provider. Once students are close to graduation, they should make sure their loan provider has the correct contact information so that they can contact them after graduation and start paying off those loans. Thank you.